Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me. Very much appreciate that. And please drop your comments. Love the comments. All right, well, the Knicks went to Chicago tonight, and it's the first game of 2 games in a row that they're playing against Chicago. They play against them on Friday as well. Brunson did end up getting the start, even though he was photographed Monday night at a holiday party wearing a boot. He made the start, and he made the difference in this win. The New York Knicks win their 5th straight game. I think it's the first time since, other than the 9-game winning streak, first time since 13, I believe. Well, but let me tell you, after they got off to a tremendous start in this game, shooting the lights out, it was, we'll just let this tweet speak for itself. David Futternick, another easy Knicks win. No, this game went into overtime. Let me tell you, the Bulls are not a good team. Right now, they're not a good team. This game, this game had no business going into overtime. And why did it go into overtime? I'm going to get into that. There were some excellent things that happened in this game, and there were some unfortunate regression elements that happened in this game. And we gave up 120 points. First time we've given up that much in 6 games. I'm not pleased because of the way they won, but I am incredibly excited that they've won 5 straight, and they're now 15-13. 2 games over 500. 2 games over 500. That's excellent. And I believe that they are still in sole possession of 6th place in the Eastern Conference. And I will confirm that right now. In fact, they are 15-13. They're a half game behind the Philadelphia 76ers and 1.5 games behind the Brooklyn Nets in 4th place. And they're a half game in front of Indiana Pacers. So the Knicks, this little run has really changed a lot. And I will say, and I'm going to give credit to Foxy for this, because he texted me this about Quentin Grimes. He changed the season around. And I will add to that, and so did Deuce. That's right. But it wasn't just that they're winning games for us, but they have infected the Knicks with a desire to play defense in a level that they had not done so all season. So that, and I love the trio of IQ and Grimes and Deuce out there, and I love when Deuce and Grimes are out there with Brunson as well, because they help him. It's great to see these young Knicks who were drafted by this current front office for this current coach finally getting some burn. That's right. Even though we here on the Knicks-Verse have been wanting this since Game 10 of last season. Since Game 10 of last season, I knew what this team was going to end up being if they kept playing the way they were playing in those first 10 games. And it even got worse. It got worse. And Thibodeau was so stubborn, he wouldn't move off it. We're already past the Burks over IQ as starting point guard, whatever. But he's finally come around. And he's shortened the rotation to 9. Rose is out. Cam Reddish is out, which I still think is an issue, especially tonight. And it almost cost them the win. Almost cost them the win because out of stubbornness. In fact, let me see if I get to the... All right, well, this is to talk about this early part. I tweeted this out at 8:30. At 8:30. The game was a 7:30 start, but it started a little later. So this was about midway, almost towards the halftime. Maybe we're like 4 minutes from halftime. You all may think I'm crazy, but despite the numbers, I'm not enthused by how Knicks are using Randle, and I meant in this game. Dumping the ball down to him to, quote, let him work is a recipe for disaster. I prefer when Julius is given the ball when he's in motion, attacking the basket off screens and rolls. Well, I hate to be like a Nostradamus, but that's exactly what happened. They came out in that second half, and they were like trying to dump it to Randle. The ball stopped moving. and the Bulls started catching up. Now, the Knicks at one point in that first half, I believe, had built up a 17-point lead, and they let it dwindle to 9 at the halftime. And then they let it get down to 5 by the end of that third quarter. Bulls were feeling good. They're at home. They got DeMar DeRozan, who's a free throw machine. And they have Zach LaVine and Vooch. He played a very good game himself. So that was Tom Thibodeau. I mean, I don't know why Thibodeau allowed that to happen, but he did allow it to happen. But this is something else. With both Knicks wings in foul trouble, Grimes and RJ, each with 4, any other coach in the NBA would turn to Cam Reddish right now. And he didn't. And it compromised RJ's defense for a while because he couldn't, his defense is already compromised in general. So if he's not able to use his physicality because he's in foul trouble, he doesn't want to get fouled out of the game, then it's going to make it even easier. So that allowed the Bulls to feast in the paint even more so. And then he fouled out. And we went to IQ. Luckily, IQ's an excellent defensive player right now. But why? Why not give Cam a look right there? Why not prepare yourself, hedge, and let these guys relax and continue to play defense at the highest level possible without having to worry about fouling out? Well, that's Tom Thibodeau for you. There he is. The star of the game, in my opinion, was Jalen Brunson. And he hit the not the game-winning shot, but he hit the game-sealing shot. He made the 127th and 128th point. Actually, I think it was a three-pointer. His final shot. Jalen Brunson, an overtime win in Chicago. He played 39 minutes on that contused foot. 30 points, 11 of 21 shooting, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, one of his best three-point shooting games in a while. Hit all 5 of his free throws, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, only 2 turnovers, and only committed 2 fouls. Star of the game. And this was the moment of the game. Right here. He put Caruso on skates. He just went down, and he got the cleanest look and put it right through the net. The Bulls never had a chance after that. What a relief, man. But again, it didn't have to be this close. All right, let's get to the stats. Here we go. Randle got off to a sensational start. 15 points in that first quarter. Which means for the final 35 minutes that he played in the final 3 quarters and overtime, he only scored 16 points. And he was the go-to offense. Is give it to him, get the mismatch on the switches, him on Caruso. It kept backfiring. He ended up with 6 turnovers. 4 of those were in the second half, and it really jeopardized the game. We almost lost this game because of that type of offensive approach that we had. Now we also, on the defensive end, we're compromised because Grimes had to be taken out when he got into foul trouble. RJ had to be taken out when he got into foul trouble. So the rotations were a little odd tonight. But no Reddish. Now, it only says one thing to me. The Knicks are 100% dead set on trading Cam Reddish very soon. They don't want to risk him getting injured at all. Now, it also could be some other issues with, issues between Cam and Thibs themselves. But it seems like the organization has made a decision to just trade him, and they don't want to risk him getting injured at all because they want to get something back for him. They gave up a first-round pick, and they gave up Knox to bring Cam here, and you can't let Cam get hurt, and then in the offseason, it gets hurt, and in the offseason, what? He just walks away. We get nothing. So it's for sure, in my opinion, that Cam Reddish, it will no longer play for the New York Knicks, and he will be traded probably sooner than later. That's what that says to me. The fact that he didn't turn to him during this game, especially with both wings in foul trouble. That's what it says to me. All right, so here we go. Like I mentioned, one thing, Randle, 13 boards. Excellent. Mitch Robinson, 10 boards, 8 points, 4 of 8. What was the next one? RJ, 6 boards. RJ had 2 dimes tonight, 2 dimes for Grimes. and Grimes hit the biggest three-pointer in that overtime. It hit the front end of the rim, went straight up, and everyone held their breath. In fact, everyone left the court. They all went over to the other side of the court because they thought it was a miss. Ball went up and went right down in the hoop there. Beautiful. And that made the score 125-120. And then Brunson hit his bucket to finish the Bulls off 128-120. But the Bulls are not a good team. Look, the Bulls are 11-16. I know they're playing at home and they have pride and all that stuff, but no, this shouldn't have been this way. And we play them again on Friday, and it's one of the most difficult things is beating teams twice in a row, especially on their home court. So this is going to be. I'm glad we won this one, because if we had lost this one after having had the lead and having this game under control, that would have been totally demoralizing. But the team should not feel that great about itself right now. They should really look inward and see what mistakes they made and see how they can exploit the Bulls the next time they get out there. Because there definitely are some edges that they can exploit. And one of them is not ISO Randle. Please, we're done with that. That was one of the best things of what was happening this season. Like I tweeted out, I don't want to see him get the ball dumped down to him and force him to create something. No, get him in motion, run these actions, get him into the paint, and if defenders collapse around him, he finds the open guy. He was waiting too long in this game to do that, especially the whole game. He was waiting too long, even though he did finish with 7 dimes because the ball was in his hands the majority of the time. So it's just, this was a game. Look at the shooting percentages. Almost 50% overall the Knicks shot. Almost 50%. And from the three-point line, almost 53%. And we had to go to overtime. That's what I'm talking about. The style of play. That style of play is not a winning style of play you can replicate over and over and over again. Unlike the way we had been playing, where the ball was moving, not a lot of dribbling, quicker decisions, finding your open teammate, exploiting mismatches is great. But Caruso is not a mismatch for Randle. Sorry. He's very crafty. He's a very crafty defender. He knows how to defend bigger guys. He's made his money doing that. Here we go. So you can see here, 7 assists for Randle, 7 assists for Brunson, 4 dimes for Quickly. Quickly had a nice game. Quickly actually had a very good game as well, even though he only connected for 9 points. And he shot 4 of 10, only 1 of 4 overall from a three-point line. I really want to see him take some more three-pointers. Man, one of them looked so good. Can't believe he missed it, but it's a shame. We really need him to start connecting. But you know who did connect? Deuce McBride on back-to-back trays. Oh, it was a beautiful sight to see. He only played 14 minutes tonight. I mean, this is the kind of night where Deuce, he was having an impact on the offensive end and the defensive end. Why not have him out there some more? So the rotations were skiwampus tonight. Very, very head-scratching. Hartenstein. Defensively, the guy is a problem for the Knicks. That often he'll do the initial effort, and then he just kind of quits on the play. There was one play where Javonte Green, Isaiah played some decent defense, kind of stopped the offensive play at that moment, but Green didn't quit on it. He gets the offensive rebound, puts it back for a dunk right in Isaiah's face. And often that's the case. He doesn't have a high motor. He comes into the game a little sleepy. When this game is cooking and rolling, he doesn't match the energy level that's already out there on the floor. It's like he needs some time to rev up, and it's becoming an issue. It's becoming a problem. Now, it could be the Achilles that he keeps talking about. He said he's only at 80% or something. It could be that. So, if that's the case, let's see some more Jericho Sims. So here the Bulls, you can see they shot almost 55% overall themselves, and they feasted in the paint. We'll show you the team stats here. But from the three-point line, 32.1%, 9 of 28. So that was a major difference. That was a major. Now we look at the score right now, it's 128-120 now, but it wasn't like that for a good stretch from midway through that fourth quarter all the way through overtime. It was just tied. Or at least if the Knicks had like a 2-point lead, 3-point lead here and there, but man, it was a major sweat the whole time. Zach LaVine, the guy is struggling. He might not be, like Doris Burke said, I was, once again, forced to watch the ESPN broadcast. But Doris Burke did point out, and it was a much better broadcast this time. I think the problem is Mark Jones. I think that guy, he must hate the Knicks or something, or love the Hawks so much. I don't know what it was. But Doris and Dave Passage, I think that's his name, they did a good job overall. And Doris said, she mentioned, she thinks, even though he won't say it or anything, she thinks that Zach may be ailing, maybe playing through some issues, some pain or whatever, because 25 points on 25 shots for Zach LaVine doesn't even make sense. It seems odd to me. But Vooch was tremendous for them. 9 of 16, 19 points. He feasted in that paint. I thought he actually shot better from 3 than he did here. So, shout out to the Knicks for closing out on him and forcing him to miss, because I thought he was feasting more. 41 minutes, but only 16 shots attempts for him. One of your most efficient guys. Why not get him more looks? DeMar DeRozan, 8 of 18, 32 points. But he went to the line. What was it just in the last 3 quarters, he went 13 times to the line. Man. Look here, the field goal percentages. The Knicks ended up putting up 91 total field goals, 7 more than the Bulls. And we shot almost 50%. I shot 53% from the 3-point line. This might be the best 3-point shooting game of the season for the Knicks. And I will confirm that in a second. What else happened in this game? All right, so here, points in the paint. Bulls, 58-42. They had a plus 16. Knicks are one of the best points in the paint teams in the NBA. So that was a huge disparity there. Mitch wasn't the presence that we had needed him to be this year. That he has been this year in the paint. He wasn't that presence tonight. The Bulls feasted in there. And a lot of it is because, RJ, he wasn't play. There were times where he would have a good defensive possession, and then he'd have like 2 bad ones, and then he'd have like 2 okay ones. He was struggling, and then he was committing fouls. And I'll say even Grimes didn't look that great defensively tonight. He got hurt as well, and he let guys get into the paint, and that's what resulted in this situation here. Let me see. I do want to find out if game log. All right. Fast break points. They got that plus 2. You can say, our biggest lead was 14. I thought it was up to 17 at one point. We committed 25 fouls. They only committed 18. The shooting, it was some great shooting tonight, except for the Bulls' 3-point shooting. But overall, excellent shooting. Free throw line, 86.4% for them, 80% for us. So the actual final net result at the free throw line wasn't a big disparity. We were actually a +1 at the free throw line over them, but it compromised our rotation because now we're down to 9. And so I think that hurt our ability to play the type of defense that we have been playing recently. So that was a bummer. Okay, 43. Yep, best 3-point shooting game of the season for the New York Knicks. There you go. I think not that they're going to shoot like this every night, obviously, but I think this team is a much better 3-point shooting team than they have been this season. Once Grimes starts connecting more, and I keep thinking IQ's going to, but then he'll give us a 1-for-4 night like tonight. And he's passing up threes. I don't. And there was at 1-3, the shot clock was running down, and I think it was Julius found him out on the 3-point, beyond the 3-point line, because shot clock was dwindling. He was like double or even triple team. Found IQ for a clean look, and he dribbled, and then a defender started closing out on him. and then he dribbled. Oh, he should have shot it when he caught it. But a defender started closing on him. He dribbled, and then he shot it for a contest, like a slightly more contested three. He had an open look originally, just should have caught it and shot it. And I feel like he's not confident with his three-point shot right now. It seems like it. He's definitely not the same quickly three-point shooter that we saw definitely as a rookie. He's not. Remember, we're still missing Obi Toppin in this game. So, no Cam. Odd to me. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. My name is George. The New York Knicks are now firmly in 6th place with a 15-13 record, 2 games over 500. If they can pull off the win on Friday over Chicago, back-to-back games against them, that would be a tremendous feat, because on Sunday, there's a big game coming up against the Indiana Pacers. That's the game I'm really intrigued to see what kind of Knicks team shows up to battle the Pacers. All right, thank you guys for watching this. Again, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up button and drop your comments. Love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.